let's get going. Welcome back, everybody. We are doing 30, 40, 50-ish minutes of live side split stretching, and we do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and to hopefully make a bunch of progress towards our side splits together. It's hard to do hard things, and hopefully with the right environment, with the right people around you, it makes it a little bit easier. Sheena, welcome back. It's good to see you. Thank you for being like the first person in, and welcome back. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna adjust this camera because it keeps on slipping and going down. And now I think I've overdone it. Now it's angled all weird. Okay, I'm gonna grab a little tissue because I think while adjusting the cameras, I smudged the cameras because of course I did. And let's get rid of those tissues and let's continue. The first thing that we're gonna do is warm up, and the first warm up that we're gonna do is called the hip cars. They look a little bit like this. We're gonna bring our knee up straight in front of us as high as possible. We're gonna open up our hips directly to the sides, trying to keep the knee as high as possible. Rotate that leg, keep the knee and the ankle as high as possible. We wanna hide the ankle behind the knee. From the side, it will look like this. From the front, it looks like you have no ankles. All right, bring the leg down and back so that the knee that we're working on is behind the standing leg as much as possible. You want to flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull that hip back, feel the stretch in the front of the hip flexor right here, and that is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. We're going to reverse the order, do 10 on the left side, 10 on the right side. That's what you have to look forward to. Let's get going. Gracias, yes! With like 6 S's. Okay, let's go. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. 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 I think that's 4 or 5. Pretend it's 5, 6. Oh, I'm slightly off balance. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. All right, left leg is done. Let's keep going. Right side. If you feel a little bit tired from spreading, trying to help you stay balanced, one that's really good for strengthening your toesies, but you can always grab something to hold on to help you balance a little bit. And the reason why I say this is because I really want you to focus on getting to the end range of motion in that hip. If you can really bring that knee up as high as you can and you can focus all of your energy on getting into this position, you probably need to not also be worried about your balance at the same time, right? So grab something. Don't feel weird that you need a little bit of support. Balance comes over time and it's a skill that we learn. So that's it. Let's go. Keep going. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. 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 I think that's off balance. 4. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I think that's 10. All right, let's take a quick break. Check the chat real quick. All right, we got Sheena saying she's using a chair. Lovely, lovely. Gold LX is back. She says, "What's up, gang?" And let's keep going. I appreciate it. Okay. Hip cars, going backwards. We do these to strengthen our hips, strengthen our legs, working on that end range of motion. Because if you get really strong, where you're currently probably the weakest, where you should be the weakest, because that's the point, helps you to maintain that range of motion for a really long time. All right, these are fairly lightweight warm-up exercises. Maybe we're breathing a little bit harder. We're working a little bit on balance. And because we focus on end range of motion, it helps to preserve a lot of mobility for a long time to come. If you got older parents, you got older relatives, try to get them to do a couple of these. They'll probably start with much less range of motion because it's not something that they've done in years, decades. And this is one small way to help preserve some of that mobility that we want, especially older people, to have. So give it a shot. You know how to do it. You know what it's all about, using your own muscles to keep yourself mobile and spread the knowledge, spread the wealth. All right, we're going backwards now. So same exact movement, but when you try to do it in reverse, your brain starts doing crazy things and it's like, what is happening? How come I can't figure this out? Let's talk it through. We're bringing that leg down and back, flexing the hamstring, flexing the glutes. All right. Then we're gonna lift directly to the side, like we're in a cool martial arts movie. We're kicking somebody, except we're not actually. This is gonna look really cool, but I do want you to try your best to stand up straighter rather than leaning perfectly to the side like this. There are yoga positions that look like that. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to get into as straight a position as we can with our upper body. We want to lift and use these hip muscles right here to lift your knee and your ankle off the ground. All right. From here, we're going to rotate that hip so that the knee is as high as possible. And we're going to bring it all in to the front and take a deep breath and keep that knee as high as possible. All right. Say a lot of things. You don't have to remember all of it. Try to make it moderately entertaining. But I'm going to do it one more time so you can see all the different positions in succession. And then we'll be ready to go. Okay? So we're bringing that leg down and back. We're lifting directly up to the side. We're rotating that leg so the ankle's down, knees up, and we're bringing it to the front, knee as high as possible. Cool? Let's go. We're doing 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, back, side, ankle, knee, 9, and finally 10. Whew, left side is done. We are 75% of the way done with these. I hope you're warming up. Hope you're breathing well. Hope your heart is racing just a little bit. All right. Let's go. Last round. Back, side, ankle, knee. Ooh. My right hip doing that movement right at the tail end. Always has a nice crack on the first couple of reps. And then it gets a little bit smoother after that. This is number 4. Back, side, ankle, knee. Back, side. Oh, I'm super off balance. Ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee. Back, side, ankle, knee. I think it's 7, maybe more. But this is 8, 9, last one, 10. Whew. All right, we are done with hip cards. Congratulations. We're ready to move on to our second warm-up exercise. I'm gonna come in, check the chat real quick, see if there's anything else I need to address. Queen R on YouTube says, yeah, I have several older family members who don't move that much anymore. Yeah, movement is one of those things where you don't notice it at first, but as you go through life, it's definitely one of those things where it's a use it or lose it type of situation. And sometimes we just gotta encourage others to move a little bit better. They'll feel like this is how they've always been because it's not something you lose overnight. It's not something you lose immediately. It's just every couple months, maybe there's a tiny change, and it adds up over time. Okay, turning on the sound. Should those moves be smoother? Yes and no. So the way I like to talk about each of these movements in sort of these 4 positions, yes, Technically, we want them to be as smooth as possible to get sort of that hip joint going, right? Uh, but it is much harder to explain it and teach it. So what I like to do is sort of hit these four main points, right? This is just your knee in front as high as possible. This is your leg to the side, knee to the side as high as possible. This is you rotating that leg so your ankle is as high as possible, but directly to the side. And then technically, your leg can come up even higher. You can bend a bit more and bring it back. But since I am demonstrating that there's more that you can do, like once you get to this point and you're very comfortable here, you can be much smoother in the movement. If that is where you're at, you're feeling like, oh, these four movements are cool, but I feel like I could be smoother. That is something you should definitely absolutely work on. Because the smoother you are in the movement, the better control you have in the hip, the more you can experiment with what your legs are capable of, right? And I'm not saying I'm good at it, but smooth gracefulness, those are all really cool skills to have, right? Like if you like to dance, if you're interested in dancing, if you want to move well in general and not be super robotic, those are all cool things to work on. So I teach it in sort of this mechanical way, and I demonstrate it in this mechanical way so you can really focus on the muscles holding this part of the hip up when the knees are positioned like this. But when you're actually doing it and you're getting really good and comfortable with them, you should definitely aim to make them smoother. Cool? Also, there's lots of different ways to actually increase that range of motion that you could be working on. For example, we start with knee directly forward in front of us. Technically, your knee can be pointed inwards over here, because that hip joint can go all the way around. And we end with this leg down and back, right? But from the front, it looks like this. Technically, that hip joint can tuck all the way back here as well. If you want to add that into your own version, please do. It's just way more difficult when you start swinging your leg back behind here for a lot of people to balance. And I'm not trying to make it difficult for normal people to get into the groove and do good stuff for their health by making it more complicated. Cool? Cool. All right. Oh, we're ready for the second warm-up exercise. It is the elephant walk, and it looks a little bit like this. We are just getting into an L shape, feeling the hamstrings get tightened up, stretching them out a little bit. I don't come into this expecting you to have done anything else to warm up. So we warm up nice and slow. And part of that warm up means we just do some gentle movement and slowly build up into the range of motion we want to work on. All right. As you bend your knees from side to side and start feeling that hamstring stretch, please focus on bringing the belly button down to the ground as low as you can. Imagine maybe sticking the butt up high behind you and feel those hamstrings stretching out, loosening up, stretching out, loosening up, stretching out, loosening up, and just take it nice and chill. I mean, as chill as the intense hamstring thing is possible to be chill about. Okay, once you've done a couple of these, we're going to add some twists. Okay, so far we focused mostly on the legs getting mobile. Now we're going to add a little bit of bonus movements to the rest of the body. We're going to bend the left knee, keep the right leg straight, take the left hand, grab the right leg. So in this case, you're going opposite leg. We're going to use that hand to push against the leg, push the chest open, stick the right hand up and open our thoracic spine, which is just the upper third of our spine, behind us and come back down. Whew, okay, we're going to switch. Now the right leg is bent, left leg is straight, right hand grabbing left leg, pushes it open, extend that left hand up into the air, look at it, try to bring it behind you, bring the belly button down because we're still working that hamstring stretch, we're just adding bonus to it, and come back down. Whew. Okay, that's one thoracic rotation on each side. Let's do a couple more. Get the upper back, get the shoulders, get your arms working, doing that twisting. And once we've done all of that, a significantly larger portion of your body will be warmed up, will be ready to go. If you are doing these thoracic rotations and you suddenly realize, oh wait, I haven't really been focusing on my hamstrings, that's totally okay. Just take a nice big deep breath and bring that belly button down. Oh, and if being upside down is a little bit painful for you for whatever reason, you don't have to do the thoracic rotation. I like to add them in because same thing. It's one of those things that we don't train very often, regularly, and I like to add the little bit of skill work where I can to help you guys move better. Cool. All right, elephant walks are done. Let's keep going. Actually, I got some chats to check out. Simon asks if I do martial arts. No, I do not do martial arts. I have always wished that I did, but I do not do martial arts. YouTube Enjoyer W4S says he is they are a black belt, and they also do Taekwondo. Welcome. Thank you for hanging out. Cheap over Michelle on TikTok says, oh my gosh, my lower back popped so many times. Felt amazing. Lovely. Yes. Putting a gentle twist into the spine is exactly what the spine is designed for. If you have ever seen old Asian ladies in a park at 6 a.m., they're probably doing something like this, some really gentle twisting and using their arms as momentum to go from side to side. Those are all movements that look a little bit silly for sure, but they're really good for you and help to keep you mobile, help you to resist some low amounts of sort of torque as you twist from side to side and throw your arms around. And our version is a little bit different, not quite the same, but similar principle. We're trying to add in some twisting for our backs and keeping it nice and healthy. Okay, ooh, I got a compliment on the pants. These are from Uniqlo from like 2 years ago, and they're ultra stretchy. They kind of look presentable-ish enough, and also let me move and do stuff on the ground. So I love them. In fact, they're the only pants I travel in. Okay, let's continue. We are getting into our third warm-up exercise. This is our last warm-up exercise. We've been moving, been grooving, been getting our blood pumping. So now let's continue and finish off by working on the end range of motion in these hips and working sort of almost kind of on the side split position itself. The Cossack switch looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs 3 times our hips width. This is hip, this is 2, this is probably about 3. It's not super important. We're just opening up our legs wide. We're going to point our feet out around 45 degrees. Then we're going to just drop down to one side as much as you can. I want you to try to keep your heel down on the ground here. I want you to have your knees traveling the same direction as your toes are pointing. Okay? So if I were here sideways, if you were looking at me sideways, my feet are pointing out this way. I want my toes going in the direction. Sorry, I want my knee to go in the same toes as my. I want my knee to go in the same direction as my toes are pointing. Wow, that was really hard to say. You might, if you have weaker hip muscles, your knee might go in. It might do the opposite. It might go out. I want you to try your best to keep your knees directly over your toes. 1, there's less pressure on either side of your knee. 2, it should be easier to focus if the bone is carrying your body weight and not just your muscles, although your quad will be feeling it a lot right now. Okay, once you're here in this deep position, your knee is kind of pointing off to the side here, you're going to feel the pressure in your ankle, you're going to feel that stretch in your Achilles tendon and the calf, you're going to feel that pressure in the hip. That is exactly what we want. We want our bodies to get used to this position, should be able to handle it, and we just want to give it some time to chill out, relax, get comfy. Same thing that we were doing in the elephant walk. We're going slow, building into it. So we're waiting. We're giving our body some time to get used to this. On this side, on this leg, we are trying our best to get heels down, toes up, knees up. This is called leg external rotation. We are rotating the leg towards the outside of our body. If our leg was here and we were standing, the leg external rotation would look like this. The toes are pointing out to the left. If we drop down like so, it looks like this position. So this is also leg external rotation. Cool. This position right here puts a bunch of pressure in the hamstrings and the inner thighs, and is very close to the position that we get into for the side splits. That's why I'm bringing it up now and giving it a little extra attention because we're going to use it real soon. All right, Cossack switch. We've hung out in this position. Let's go to the other side, give the other side some time as well. We got lots of ways to get to the other side. And the one I recommend, if you're just getting started, is put your hands down and help yourself walk over to the other side. Once you're here, same thing, feel that pressure in the front of the ankle, feel the stretch in the Achilles and the calf on the back, feel that pressure in the hip, and hang out here for a little bit. On this side, your leg can externally rotate as well, and you can try your best to sit up a little bit straighter. If it's really hard, you can't do that, and you have to stay folded and stay bent over like this. That's totally okay. It's a cool place to be. Whew. Hang out, chill, enjoy yourself. Whew. Oh wow. If you stick your hands out really far in front of you, it helps to counterbalance. When you sit into this stretch, you might want to feel like, or you might feel like you want to fall backwards. If you stick your arms out really far in front of you, or if you're really struggling, you can hold the bottle of water out in front of you. That will help you counterbalance and stay upright. Okay, we hung on that position for a long time. We played with that position a little bit. Changed the direction that you pointed your knees out. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be any specific number. We're just trying to figure it out for our own bodies, right? Now we want to move from side to side. We want to build in that movement. We want to get stronger going from this position here to this position here. You already saw that you can do this with your hands down. I want you to experiment and see what you are personally capable of. If you can, you try to keep your upper body straight and upright. You can focus on trying to bring your butt to the other side. Stick your arms out to help counterbalance. If this is too intense, you can try to come up maybe halfway, a quarter of the way, come across here, and then drop down into that stretch. If you want, you can come into a full squat, come back down. This is going to be tiring. If anything is starting to hurt, be uncomfortable, go ahead and stop. But if you are able to do a couple of these, I want you to do them. I want you to experiment. I want you to see what's comfortable for you, because these are really great for you. They open up your hips. They make you stronger. They help you stretch out, and it doesn't feel like stretching. It feels like a little bit of a workout. Okay, I have no idea how many of these we've done, but I'm pretty sure we've done more than enough. And it's time to get into some stretches. We're going to do some hamstring stretches. We're going to put a pillow under our knee to give it a little bit of protection, because we're going to get into a hamstring stretch that looks a little bit like this. Okay, so go ahead, go grab a cushion, go grab an old flip-flop, a shoe, something with a little bit of foam. Just smash your knee into that thing, and I'm going to go grab my own pillow. Pillow. And I'm going to have some coffee. Okay, nothing else on YouTube to reply to. Let's take a look at TikTok. Angel says, this one is challenging. And Cactus Lily Grooming says, quite indeed. This is a very challenging exercise. I call it a warm-up. Or I put it in the warm-up, not because this is not because it's supposed to be super easy. It's supposed to be challenging. And it's challenging for a whole bunch of reasons. One, if you were to see me standing to the side, you'll see that my foot is here, but my butt is back here. So the question is, where's my center of balance? If I lean really far forward, then I can sort of keep my center of balance like right around here, and it'll stay balanced. But if I try to sit deep into that squat, I'll start falling backwards because my center of balance shifts to basically closer to my butt than to my chest, right? So we got this challenge of trying to figure out forward and backwards balance. On this side, if we're looking at you from the front, you're trying to get into the stretched position. And as we talked about in the hip cars, these stretched extreme range positions tend to be where you're weakest because you never spend any time in this type of position. That's totally normal. So when we're in this position, we're training it, we're trying to get stronger. Generally, it's going to be tough because this is going to be some of your weaker range of motion. Plus, look at how many joints we're working on. We got this ankle, we got this knee, we got this hip. We're folding forward to help counterbalance. This leg is just being weird on the side all by itself and not helping in any way. And you got, like I said, this forward to backwards balance. You sort of got this side to side balance, and it requires both flexibility and strength. It's a really hard exercise. That's why it's really good for you. Okay? If you're focused on just one thing at a time, you can get really good at one thing, or you can try to make the most of your time and you can work on a whole bunch of stuff all at the same time. And that's one of those exercises that works on a whole bunch of stuff all at the same time. And that makes it a little bit more difficult to learn, a little bit more to focus on, especially if it's your first time doing it, because there's so many little details that you can tweak, that you can adjust, and you kind of force it to work together. But I encourage you to work through it because it's exactly how your body works, right? Every single time you're doing anything, your arm is go grabbing a cup of coffee. You're trying to figure out how to or not twist your body, how to extend that arm, how to focus on the thing that you're grabbing, right? Everything that you do is a coordination of tons of muscles, tons of brain patterns, movement patterns, and you don't even think about it consciously anymore. That's exactly where we want to get sort of this extreme range of motion for your hips. We want to make it natural, we want to make it easy, we want to make it flow, and the only way to do that is to train it. Cool, okay. Enough rambling. Let's get into the hamstring stretch. Hope you have a cushion. Anything will do. You can steal your dog's bed. That's fine. With me, I won't get mad. Drop that knee down right onto the cushion. We want to focus on keeping the hips and the shoulders pointed directly forward. We want to stick that leg directly forward in the same line. And we want to try our best to keep the hips straight and perpendicular across our body. If you see, I'm currently touching both my hips, sucking my stomach a little bit. You can't see the hand in the back because the hand in the front is covering it. If you focus, oh, this is a totally bad example. I need to turn around. If you are here and your hips come forward because you're twisting at the hips, you might see my right hand and my left hand. And that just means you gotta work on pulling that hip back and square with the rest of your body. I hope that makes sense. Basically, if I show you another angle, I don't want you to super extend this leg forward to work on the hamstring stretch because it's not necessary. And it also makes it a little bit less comfortable and makes it a little bit scarier for people who don't have that much flexibility in this hip in the backwards. Back. Okay, hamstring stretch. Once again, because I went on tangent. Hips squared, chest squared. Stick the leg directly out in front. Fold and bring your belly button, this thing right here, down towards the ground. Your hamstrings are going to tighten up. Take a nice big deep breath in. Release and slowly go deeper into the stretch. Do a couple of these if you want. Really focus on bringing your belly button down to the thigh. And once you're feeling like, I'm not making more progress, this is getting uncomfortable, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we are done with that hamstring. Some notes. I like to do some gentle little pulses to push down. You can definitely just hold and try to bring your chest down and keep it stable. You can, if you have slight knee discomfort, knee pain, you can try to bend your knee a little bit first. You can bring your chest down to the knee and then work on straightening out that leg after. This makes it so that there's less pressure on the knee, but once you're here and you're trying to pull that leg back, you're still working on the hamstring stretch. Cool? All right, we talked about adjustments. Let's get to the other side and work on that hamstring stretch. What did we just do? The right leg was stretched. What am I doing? Kneeling on the right leg now. Once again, square up those hips, square up those shoulders, so that from the side, if somebody were to look at you, you would be as narrow as possible. I just don't want you to do this. Okay. From here, we're going to bring the belly button down to the thigh. Your hamstrings are going to tighten up. Take a nice big deep breath. Release. Fold deeper into the stretch. Do a couple of these if you want. And once you can't get any deeper, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, almost there, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay, come on out of that. No matter how intense that hamstring stretch was, if you did it right and you took your time getting into it and getting out of it, you should have that hamstring stretch intensity disappear within a couple of seconds after stopping the stretch. Go ahead and shake your leg out just a little bit if you need it, and you can throw away that cushion. We don't need it anymore. That was the only stretch. We're going to need a little bit of padding. All right, let's get into stretch number 2. I'm going to come up and see if there is anything I need to address. On YouTube, somebody says, greetings. Indonesian Kyokushinkai Karate Brown Belt. Welcome, welcome. Senior Blackman, welcome to you as well. Thank you for sending that. Okay. I think G Pullman might have said that she had to go. Thank you. Gotta go. Wishing everyone success in all you do. Thank you so much, G Woman. That's so cute and supportive to everybody else in the live. Have a good day and hope to see you tomorrow. Okay. And Vanessa says, I do a split and fold over for these, but I don't know if it's still working the same thing. If you can do a full split and you can fold over, then you have way more hamstring flexibility than you need to, and you are doing great. If that's what you're capable of, don't even worry about the hamstring stretch. You can level it up straight to split, and it'd be amazing. Don't worry about that at all, because you're way past where we're at. Cool? Cool, cool. All right, second stretch. Elephant. That's second warm up. Butterfly stretch. Butterfly stretch looks a little bit like this. You might have seen it before. We're pulling the feet in. The knees are going to pop up, and we're trying to bring them down to stretch the groin area. The problem with this version of the stretch, which is easy to get into, is it's hard to apply pressure and force into the legs to help bring them down. And I do want you to experiment with it. Try to see how you feel when you're in this position, because I'm going to give you a tip to work on it and make it a little bit easier to feel progress. And you only notice the difference when you've done both. Okay, once we've tried this variation, come on back over to a wall. Yes, we're going to need to lean against something. It doesn't have to be a wall. It could be a very, very sturdy bookcase. It could, I don't know, it could be the side of a refrigerator or something. Anyways, something sturdy and straight to lean against. We want to put your hips, your shoulder, your head against that wall and get back into position, pull the feet in. You might notice that immediately, just because you have something to lean your back against, your knees are way lower to the ground. Your groin is already way more open. If that's the case, congratulations. You're already doing much better in the stretch. All you had to do was sit next to a wall. From here, let's make it a little bit more intense and let's work on some of these muscles. I keep on talking about strengthening your muscles and using your own muscles to do stuff, and this is not any different. We're going to get into this position and focus on using the outer thighs and the glutes to open up the groin. That's kind of a weird visual because you're not really sure how you're doing that. Let's focus on bringing the knees to the ground, okay? So take a couple seconds, try to figure out how to open those muscles. Adjust if you need to. You might slip away from the wall. You can readjust, put your hips against that wall again. And once you have engaged those glutes, those outer thighs, I want you to put your hands and add a little bit of bonus pressure. If you're doing this while leaning against the wall, you'll start feeling pressure in the back of your head and maybe your shoulders and your upper back because you're basically pushing your legs down and pushing your body into the wall. The wall is basically helping you to push your knees lower to the ground, and that's amazing. Helps you get into a much deeper stretch. Cool? That's it. Contract those muscles, push them down 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Once you're slightly more comfortable in this position, you can try a couple of changes. You can try to tuck your chin down. You can try to push your shoulders down. You might be able to see that my shoulders are bouncing up and down right now. Try to bring them down so that you're not like this. I think it's fine if you do it either way. There's really not that big of a difference. I think it just makes you feel like you're in more of a stable position when you're tucking your shoulders down. Whew, okay, that's a long side tangent. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Open up those hips, flex those muscles, push down. 5, 4, almost done. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. You let the hands go first. If your legs feel like they're kind of stuck in this position because we've been holding the contraction in the muscles in the leg and the glutes for a little bit, that's totally normal. You can just take your hands, give yourself a little bit of support, move the legs, flap up the wings of this butterfly in the butterfly stretch. And once your legs are starting to feel a little bit normal, come on back up and let's get into the third stretch. The third stretch is called the standing pancake. And we like the standing pancake because gravity does a lot of work helping us to get into position. It looks a little bit like this. We're gonna open up our legs nice and wide, and it doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to go all the way to the ground. We just want to get to the limits of our comfort. When it starts getting uncomfortable here in the hips, you just come back up a little bit and stay there. Cool. The next thing I want to do is I want to fold at the hips and try to bring our chest and our belly button down towards the ground. If you get to here and your upper body is horizontal to the ground, it's really good because gravity is pulling and trying to bring our whole body down. You're going to start feeling that pressure at the hips where you're folded. If you stick your arms out above your head like so, you'll feel the pressure even more. And that's exactly why we do the standing pancake, because gravity is helping us. All right, once you're here, you might notice you can actually open up your legs even more. Go ahead and take advantage of that if you want. I want you to bring your butt slightly back. You'll see that my feet are here, and if I was standing straight up, my hips would be right above my feet, but I'm going to let my hips tilt back a little bit to help me fold forward. And start feeling that stretch in the hamstrings and in the inner thighs. Once you are here, we're taking advantage of the standing pancake, sticking our arms up, and we're trying to bring the belly button to the ground. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Remember to breathe. 20, 19, 18. You can always make it easier by touching the ground, holding yourself up a little bit. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Oh, come on up out of that stretch. Oh, if you did that right, then it probably really hurt. Okay. Come back into standing. Let's talk about it. We need to give our bodies a couple of seconds to recover after that because it was really intense. So I'm going to fill that time with talking about how to focus on the stretch. The adductors, which are the inner thigh muscles, are designed to do this. It's designed to pull your leg towards the center of your body and a little bit past it. That means anytime you do the opposite, which is opening up to the outside, those muscles are going to be like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? I don't like that. That's why those muscles are freaking out. And that's why it's really hard to get into a pancake or a side split. These muscles right here, adductors. The second main muscle group that you'll feel doing the pancake is the hamstrings. The hamstrings connect sort of right below your knee and into the hips. So anytime you fold forward like so, doesn't matter if your feet are together or if your feet are really far apart, you're going to feel that hamstring stretch. And that is why we do the elephant walk, we do the hamstring stretch, we do all this stuff to prepare them in advance of the really intense thing that's happening here on the ground, standing pancake. Cool. I hope you're feeling a little bit better because we're going to get into stretch number 4, the figure 4. The figure 4 is all about bringing the ankle to the opposite side of the body, and it kind of makes this thing that looks like the number 4. We're going to bring our leg up and our chest down. So we want to fold forward. If you want to hear about this another way, I guess we'll bring our belly button down towards our leg. It's always about the belly button. And looks a little bit like that. Now, actually, let's get back into position. Right here, this outer hip muscle area is where we're going to feel the stretch, and that's what we want. Let's talk about positions. In the figure 4 stretch, we have 2 main ways to sort of get into it. One uses gravity and lets you work a little bit less, but it's harder to get into. There's one instance where I recommend not taking advantage of the gravity option if you want to have really good control and form. And it looks a little bit like this. This is the one that requires gravity. Pigeon. We'll bring the leg across the body, right? We're going to try and square up the chest to the middle of this leg. If you have really long legs, it's going to be a little bit different. Just try to aim your chest towards the middle of your leg-ish. From here, we're trying to bring the chest down over that leg, and we're trying to keep the hips low to the ground. I'm going to scoot way over here so you can see more of my body. And hips low to the ground, chest coming down over the legs. If you try to keep a straight back like this, you'll actually feel the stretch more intensely. If you round your back like this, you'll probably feel less of a stretch, but it's easier to relax in this position, so you can choose what you like. The one thing I want you to keep in mind, actually there's 2 things. I want you to push this ankle away from your body, or at least hold it at 90 degrees. That's because you're going to be way more comfortable if your ankle tucks all the way in, right? And the problem is, we spend a lot of time in these positions, our ankle is going to want to tuck in, and it doesn't actually make the stretch any better, it makes the stretch worse. So actively make sure your leg is pushed away from your body, particularly that ankle. The other thing is this back leg. In the pigeon, and you've probably seen various times on YouTube, people are really good about sticking this leg straight back. It takes a bit of flexibility to be able to pull that off. If you do not have that flexibility, that is a-okay. You can definitely still leave this leg bent and off to the side and still focus on that stretch on the other leg. If you think you might be close to getting to that position, here's a way to get into it so the back leg is still straight and you don't have to worry about that form so much. All right, this is basically laying down on your back is basically the stretch. All right, we're gonna bring that leg across our body. We're just gonna roll over, and your leg is basically behind you. Cool. If you don't bring your chest up like this, you're not putting pressure into this area in your hips, and you don't need to have that leg do anything. If you focus all your time here, this body is just laying down for the most part, and you can do that for sure. Okay, that's the pigeon. Really long-winded way of talking about the pigeon. Let's talk about the other figure 4 stretch. We're going to lay down. We're going to take the leg, we're going to stretch. We're going to cross it over to the opposite knee, just below the knee. We're going to reach our hands through, grab it, and pull it in, and that's it. Really straightforward in comparison. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. We're going to apply steady pressure, pull the knee in towards the chest, feel that stretch. Sorry, I'm like a trapped turtle. We're going to feel that stretch here in the outer hip, in the glute-ish area, and that's it. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, okay, relax, let it go. We're almost done. It's almost time for the side splits. There's only so much more avoidance we can have. This is the fourth of our 5 stretches. When we do our 5th and final stretch, it is going to be 3 rounds of side splits. So get ready. Okay, we're switching over to the other side. Cross that leg over the opposite knee. Reach your arms through if you're doing this version. If you're doing the pigeon, keep your chest sort of in the middle of the line that's across your body, of the line across your body, of the leg that's going across your body. And get into position. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. I think in this variation, the figure 4, it's much easier to keep control over that ankle, and that's part of the reason why I like it more than the pigeon. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax the hip, relax your hands. If you're doing the figure 4, you're really holding onto your leg and pulling it in, and that's tiring. So give yourself a break. Take a couple seconds. Breathe. All right, let's go. We gotta do some side splits. We got 3 rounds. Let's talk about what's coming up. We're gonna do 3 rounds of 30 seconds, and in between each round, we're gonna shake it out, relax the body, loosen up. This is super important because our muscles are gonna be really tense, trying to hold us in place, and we want them to reset in between. Because if you're really tense the whole time and then you stay intense the whole time and just make it more intense, you're not gonna really change or get any deeper into the stretch. So we want to do a lot of contrasting behaviors. We're going to get into the stretch, we're going to get really tight, going to get stuck, and then we want to shake everything out, get loose, and then we're going to go for a couple of rounds of that. Before we go into the split, I want you to think about safety for a little bit. If you are in a deep position and you fall forward, it's easy enough to catch yourself, but when you start falling backwards, it starts to get a little scary. So I recommend you get really close to a wall behind you. I recommend 8 to 12 inches, 20, 30 centimeters, so that if you fall backwards, the wall will catch you and help keep you safe. Cool? Your blood just fell out of my ear. I am sorry. I thank everybody on YouTube who had to listen to that. Let's continue. We're going to get into the side splits, and we are going right now. Opening up those legs nice and wide. You don't have to get uncomfortable in the hips. If it's uncomfortable, you can always come up just a little bit. We're doing the next step by folding forward at the hips. Put your hands down like you're about to do a push-up. We're not actually doing push-ups. We're just shifting our weight into our hands so it's easier to move our legs. We talked about this in the warm-ups in the beginning. What we're doing is external leg rotations. What that means is our heels are down, our toes are up, and our knee is pointing up. This basically moves our leg bone into a position that doesn't smash into our hip bone. Let's just get deeper into the side split. You might be completely stuck here already. That's totally fine. If you want to try to get a little bit deeper, you can walk your hands back towards your hips a little bit. That'll put more weight into your hips, and you can try to do a little wiggle from side to side to see if you can break that last little bit of friction. Clearly, I'm breaking a lot of friction because my feet are making these crazy sounds against the floor. Whew. Once you are stuck and you can't get any deeper, it's time to start our 30 seconds. So let's go 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Clearly, I did a bad job of going and getting stuck and not going any deeper. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, almost done. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Lean forward. Use those push-up hands we were talking about earlier. Crawl. Pull those legs back in. Come back into standing. And congratulations, we just did one round. We got 2 more to go. In between each round, like I said earlier, we're shaking it out, loosening up, taking a break, recovering from the intensity of that stretch. What I like you to do is sort of just kick this leg out, flop it around. Should look loose, should look floppy, should look like there's no tension in there. That's the goal. No tension. In the past, I think yesterday, I called it the wiggle. Shake it out. The flop. Might have said something else in the past couple of days. I don't know. Loose. Loose, wiggly, and relaxed. If you were not relaxed, it would be something way more robotic, right? Like you'd be stuck in a couple of ranges of motion. It wouldn't be like a rotating, floppy, wiggly sort of situation. I really got to come up with a better way to talk about this. Okay. Once you've done that, we're going to do a couple of quick checks to make sure our joints and our muscles are working fine. And the way I like to do that is start with hip circles. And once you've done some hip circles, make sure your hips are doing good. We're going to do a couple of quick high knees. Make sure the hip flexors in the front are working fine. We're going to do some mini squats. Put a little pressure on the knees to put a little pressure on the ankles. You can even come up onto your toes a little bit. As long as all of those joints are working, you're able to control the strength, then that means we are good and we are ready to go to round 2 of the side split. But before we do that, I hope if you're having fun, if you've done some really good stretching, if you've done something you're proud of today, then you hit follow, you hit subscribe, and you get notified. Because we do this every single day to practice consistency. And the master skill here is the consistency, right? But coming here, doing it with me, doing it with the live, with everybody else who's here, helps to build a little bit of community. And that community makes doing hard things a lot more fun, makes it easier to practice consistency. So hopefully, I hope you come back. We can practice consistency together, make a bunch of progress towards our side split goals, and make hard stuff a little bit easier, a little bit more enjoyable. Okay, that's the spiel. Follow, subscribe, come back tomorrow. Let's get into round 2 of the side splits. Same thing as before. Get close to that wall, 8 to 12 inches away, so that if you fall backwards, the wall will catch you and keep you safe. Open up those legs nice and wide. You might notice that if you were able to take some time to relax, you can get deeper into this position than before already, and we haven't done anything else yet. Put your hands down like you're going to do that push-up. Really, that's to help your legs rotate, externally rotate, which means your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are up. I'm not sure that y'all can all see that, so I'm going to point it out extra clearly right here in the middle of the camera. Ankles down, toes are up, knees are up. You want to do that on both sides. And walk the hands back towards your hips. I'm a little too close to the wall. My butt just touched the wall. Once you are here, and you feel like you might not really be able to get any deeper, this is really intense, I want you to try just leaning from side to side. See if maybe you got a little bit more in you and you just needed a little bit of pressure to break that friction, that last little bit. Okay, once you're stuck, can't go anymore. Let's go, 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. If you've been doing this whole time with your arms perfectly straight, experiment with bending at your elbows. You might notice suddenly way more pressure is going into your legs. And that's not so bad, but it could be challenging. So you can experiment with your elbows. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, lean forward, walk those hands. Come on, bring your legs in, come back into standing. Okay, round 2. Shake it out, relax, loosen up, get your body working again. Shake, 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 shake. Flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Again, it looks silly, it looks kind of weird, and that just means this is so effective, I don't care how it looks. All right? We're trying to keep all of our muscles as relaxed as possible to help them recover from the stress, the tension that we just had put them into for the side splits. We were so tense, we literally could not move any further, and now we're trying to loosen them up so that when we get into round 3, we can get even deeper into the stretches. Okay, once your legs are working and it's normal-ish again, Lulu says, so said I'm late today, but hope tomorrow we'll see you. Yeah, I hope so too. I'll be here same time. Melody, star 420 says, this is exactly what I need. Lovely, lovely. Okay, we're going to do our quick checks. Hip circles. By the time we do the second and third side split, usually my hips, and they are feeling it right here. And I'm pretty sure it's soft tissue because when I go and hang out on either side for a little bit, the discomfort goes away. And if it would just go away at some point now, it would make my point a lot easier to make. And the right hip is good, but the left hip still feeling a little bit weird. Okay, there we go. Boom. All right, next up, we got some high knees, just to make sure the hip flexors in the front are working. We're gonna pop into some mini squats, so we can put a little bit of pressure into the knees, into the ankles, come up a little bit onto the toes if you can, just to make sure all of those joints are working because we put them through a lot of tension a couple of seconds ago. And once you have confirmed everything is working, everything is good, we're gonna get ready to go back into round 3 of the side splits. The thing is, we want to give our bodies a little bit of time to relax so that we can get the most out of this next round. But us doing stuff is a little bit hard for that use case. Sheena says, see you tomorrow. Everybody good stretching today. Thank you, Sheena, for coming in. Sheena was the first person in the first comment, by the way. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. You're probably already gone, but I tried. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom of the chat. I don't think there's anything else I need to address. All right, let's go. Round 3, side splits. Hope you've had a couple of seconds to relax, take care of anything that feels a little bit weird after the side splits. Again, put your butt near the wall so that if you fall backwards, the wall will catch you and help keep you safe. I recommend 8 to 12 inches. Let's open up those legs nice and wide. After the first 2 rounds, it should be much easier, much more comfortable to get into a deep position than before. I want you to stick your hands down like you're doing those push-ups, externally rotate those legs so that the toes are pointing up, the knee is pointing up, and the heel is down on both legs. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Take your time. This is our last and final one. Do that wiggle from side to side so you can get a little bit deeper. Shift your weight forward, shift your weight back. Experiment with this position. And, ooh, okay, found a place to push. Once you can't get any deeper, you can't get any further, or I guess any closer to the ground, it's time to start our last 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, lean forward. Walk your hands out in front of you, pull your legs in, and you might be a lot more tired after this round than the previous one. My legs are literally shaking. I don't think you can tell because I'm far enough away from the camera. But those are all signs that we did a really good job working those muscles. If they're tired, then you did it right. All right, check out those legs. This is the last time. We're almost done. What we're doing now is just making sure when you go back to doing whatever else you were doing, your legs are going to work well, they're going to work fine, you get whatever else you need to get done today, done. All right, flop, 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 shake, 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 wiggle, 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 add in your arms. These can really flop around and make it like crazy looking. Go ahead, enjoy that. You can show it off to your friends. Look at what my arms can do. Woo! Okay, once your legs are relatively back to normal and fine, let's do our quick checks before we wrap up. Hip circles. If there's anything that you notice is uncomfortable, it's just probably a muscle that's been stretched really hard today and needs a little bit extra love. Give it to that muscle. I'm doing it with my hips. And move on. Let's see. Gotta do some high knees. High knees. That's not really a plural, is it? High knees with apostrophe. Okay, whatever. Bend those knees. Flex the ankles a little bit. Come up onto the toes. Jump around a little bit if you need to. And once your legs are definitely working just fine, let's continue and finish for the rest of the day. Don't fart, man. Could be lethal. Yeah. You're telling me the floor is got like this super polish on it, and so if I get into the wrong position, not even the wrong position, pretty much every time I get into the side split, the floor is making a big, loud, rubby sound, and yeah, it sounds like I'm farting for like 30 seconds straight as I'm trying to get into the stretch. This is the chat I'm responding to on YouTube in case somebody has no idea what we're talking about. Ganowski says, my heels hurt. That is a great point. Okay, I've been doing this pretty much daily for 11, almost 12 months. I don't know if that's true. I think it's almost 11 months. And my heels forgot how to hurt. But for a really long stretch, I was wearing flip-flops that just had like an inch of cushioning on my heel to help pad my heels. And yeah, if your heels hurt, go ahead and take advantage of a little bit of padding. I chose flip-flops because they're usually one flat piece of foam and they're thin enough to give me the padding I need without sort of like being weird, because I didn't really want to put on shoes. I wanted to be able to transition to and from, because all the other stretches they don't need shoes on. Experiment with that. If you want, you can try to do it with maybe like 2 yoga mats. I don't think 1 is going to be quite enough to actually relieve any pain in the heels. So give that a shot. Yes, your heels are going to be a little bit unhappy when you're getting used to this. Okay, yeah, another question. It says, how many times do you do it? Sorry, I just got here. I do the side split stretch 3 times in this series. 3 rounds of 30 seconds. You can do as many as you like. Usually, typically, it's diminishing returns. I think in general, if you do 3 rounds, the first one sort of gets you warmed up. The second one, if you relax in between, helps you to get pretty comfortable in the stretch. And the third one, you can really push it and try pretty hard to make a little bit of progress in the stretch. I'm pretty sure after the 3rd round, my legs get really tired and weak, and I don't want to do it anymore. So I think 3 or 4 rounds is a nice sweet spot between you've warmed up, you've gotten into the position, you're comfortable, and then you finally give it a nice push at the end. I hope that answers your question. Gold LX says, thanks, Ken. Of course. Goddess V cubed says, thanks for the stretch. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day as well. Okay. Great. I think that is all of the chats. Scrolling real fast to see if there's anything else I need to address. I feel like there was a chunk of time where I was pretty far away from the camera, so I'm just double checking to see if there's anything else I need to talk about. Nope, I think I'm good. So with that, let's wrap up. Thank you everybody for coming in. Thank you for practicing consistency, doing side splits related things, hip mobility with me today. I hope you feel proud of yourself. We did a lot of work for quite a bit of time, and you should be proud because we did a lot of hard stuff together. It's hard to do hard things, so I hope the live made it a little bit easier, a little bit more fun, a little bit more engaging to go do painful things on the floor. Hope you had fun, and I hope you'll come back tomorrow. Hit follow, hit subscribe, get notified. We do this every single day to help you and me practice consistency and build a little bit of community so that it's a little bit more cool to do hard things. Oh, all right, that's it for me. I am going to go do other stuff. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Oh, I always struggle.